Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao, and this is One News Now. There are still 3 days left for the Labor Department and other concerned agencies to send home stranded OFWs. But they are confident that the mission will be accomplished as early as tomorrow. Dale De Vera has the updates and joins us live now from Parañaque. Dale, what's up?
Sean, with only 3 days left before President Duterte's deadline to send home stranded OFWs, Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello is confident that all 24,000 of them will be able to be reunited with their families by tomorrow. Latest data from DOLE says at least 19,000 repatriated workers have left Manila since the start of the week. Bello says the incident prompted his department to issue an administrative order that will streamline the process of transporting repatriated OFWs through the help of a crisis management committee. The labor chief said there were proposals that tests should be conducted on OFWs even before their repatriation. This way, those who would yield negative results could go straight home to their provinces. Meanwhile, DOLE also reports a big drop in the number of healthcare workers leaving for abroad despite the lifting of the ban. Sean, right now we're here at the Parañaque terminal where thousands of OFWs will take their ride going home to their provinces. At present, there are more than 20 buses waiting for OFWs here. And compared to the numbers of stranded OFWs from Monday, there are at least lesser number of OFWs waiting. Maybe because at least over the week, thousands of OFWs have already went home and have already received their clearances to go home to their families. Sean?
All right, but Dale, what then will happen? I think we're expecting some 42,000 more OFWs, according to what I'm seeing here, to be repatriated back here to the Philippines in the coming days. Has the DOLE planned out what will happen to these 42,000? It's almost double the 24,000 that they have sent home this week.
Yes, Sean, that's right. The DOLE is expecting at least 42,000 OFWs to be sent back home here in the Philippines until the end of June. But Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello said that they are already ironing out things to receive this OFWs, and one of that is that they are already sending this stranded OFWs home. So to give more space in quarantine facilities to the incoming OFWs. Sean?
All right, Dale, now you also mentioned about the DOLE's proposal that OFWs be tested even before they fly back here to the country. Now, exactly who will be conducting these tests and who will be paying for these tests? Sagot ba ng gobyerno lahat yan?
Sean, just clarification on that it was the Department of Trade, Transportation that gave that recommendation. Sinabi lang kanina ni Secretary Bello that it was Secretary Tugade who opened up that idea. But if ever that pushes through, kasi there are still some considerations na iniisip, the Philippine government will shoulder all the costs except for those manning agencies ng mga seafarers. That said, but if in case that a certain manning agency hindi na kaya yung cost for repatriation or and all the expenses, that's the only time the Philippine government will step in doon sa mga OFWs na yon.
Okay, Dale, on the itong ibang DOLE matters, merong isang proposed crisis committee na gustong gawin ng DOLE. Para saan naman to? Is this still solely for COVID response and for OFWs, or is it for all affected laborers and employees in the Philippines?
Yes, on this crisis management committee, ito nga sinign kanina ni Secretary Bello, and the administrative order that created this committee has already been signed and has already for publishing. Now, itong committee na to will work for the information center ng OFWs, kumbaga all details, all info about OFWs, kung sino yung nag-positive, continue for repatriation, kung ano yung mga kailangan ng OFWs, lahat ng concerns nila will go to this committee. Kumbaga, it has a command center that is stationed sa DOLE office in Intramuros. This will stay until matapos itong problem sa COVID-19, Sean?
All right, Dale, huling katanungan na lang, no? So we've talked about OFWs getting repatriated. What about OFWs that are set to be sent out? As we know, a lot of healthcare workers around the world are Pinoys, and we've heard other world leaders thanking them. There seems to be now a delay of sending out Filipino healthcare workers. What's the latest on this, and why is this so?
Yes, Sean, according to the latest data that the Department of Labor and Employment has, it says that at least 99% yung drop ng number of healthcare workers na umalis from for April alone. Kumbaga, from January 2020 to March 2020, there are at least 200,000 medical health workers na umalis for abroad. But nung pumasok itong April, there are only at least a little over 1,000 na umalis. It's not because there was a delay, yung sinasabi ng but ang sinasabi ng DOLE is maybe because dahil na rin nagkaroon ng problems with COVID-19 and nagkaroon nga rin ng temporary deployment ban itong na-inissue against them, which was already lifted. So ngayon, siguro hindi pa napaprocess yung mga papers. And linawin lang natin, Sean, that the healthcare workers that are allowed to go out are those na naayos na yung papers before the first community quarantine was implemented. That was in the first week of March, Sean.
All right, maraming salamat, Dale De Vera, for all those updates. Again, News 5's Dale De Vera joining us live from Parañaque. Meanwhile, PLDT assures its customers that no data were downloaded following the hacking of its Twitter account yesterday. The telco says a thorough investigation showed no record of customer data download or exfiltration from its Twitter account. PLDT adds that it will forward its findings to the National Privacy Commission. And here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. President Duterte is urging the Education Department to allow staggered tuition payments in the upcoming school year. He says state-owned Land Bank of the Philippines can lend money to parents struggling to pay for their children's tuition fees. And the Philippines secures a $500 million loan from the World Bank to boost the country's COVID-19 efforts. The loan is to be prepaid or repaid in 29 years with a grace period of 10 and a half years. The Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, or AIIB, meanwhile, committed to lend the country $750 million. And the FDCP, or Film Development Council of the Philippines, chairperson Liza Dino Ceguera appeals to the government to include audiovisual workers and freelancers in its subsidy programs. Dino says around 860,000 workers in the film industry are severely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. For more updates, follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. I'm Sean Yao, and we are One News.